Disabled fan surprises Caitlin Clark during game. Her heartwarming reaction will leave you in tears. In sports, it's often easy to get lost in the statistics, the points scored, the records broken, the victories earned. But there are moments in a player's career that go beyond the game, transcending the court or field and touching the hearts of fans in ways that can't be measured by numbers. One of those moments came unexpectedly during a pivotal game for Caitlin Clark, the University of Iowa's basketball prodigy, when a disabled fan surprised her in a way that would leave not only her in tears, but anyone who witnessed it. It was a regular evening at Carver-Hawkeye Arena, a place that had become a second home to Caitlin. Fans packed the stands, their voices rising in excitement as the Iowa women's basketball team faced off against their rivals. Caitlin Clark, the undeniable star, was playing yet another exceptional game. With every three-pointer, assist, and steal, the crowd erupted in applause, showing their appreciation for a player whose talent was unmatched. But little did Caitlin know, a special surprise was about to unfold, one that would leave an indelible mark on her heart and change the trajectory of her career in ways no championship victory could. The fan who never gave up. Jake Simmons was not your average basketball fan. At just 14 years old, he had already faced more challenges than most adults ever would. Born with cerebral palsy, a condition that affected his motor skills, Jake had always dreamed of playing basketball like the athletes he admired on television. While his body couldn't always keep up with his heart's desire, he never let his disability deter him from pursuing his passion for the sport. Jake's room was filled with memorabilia, posters of his favorite players, jerseys, and, above all, a framed picture of Caitlin Clark. She was more than just a basketball player to him. She represented resilience, strength, and a reminder that dreams, no matter how big, could come true if you never gave up. He would watch Caitlin's games from the comfort of his home, cheering her on with all his might, imagining himself on the court beside her. Despite his challenges, Jake had found a community in the world of sports. He was a fixture at every Iowa women's basketball game he could attend, sitting in the front row, his eyes glued to Caitlin every time she made a play. But even more than that, Jake had something that few others possessed, an unshakable belief in the power of inspiration, and Caitlin Clark was his greatest inspiration. Jake's story wasn't one that would make headlines. He wasn't a famous athlete, nor did he have any incredible social media following. But when the Iowa Athletics Department learned about his journey and his unyielding admiration for Caitlin, they knew something had to be done. They knew that Jake, more than anyone, deserved a chance to experience the magic of a game in person, as well as the opportunity to meet the player who had given him hope. The surprise was during a highly anticipated game against a rival team that the stage was set for a surprise that would leave everyone, including Caitlin, emotional and speechless. The game had been tight from the start, with both teams battling back and forth. The atmosphere was electric, and Caitlin was playing her usual dynamic game, pushing the Iowa team forward with every play. Midway through the second quarter, with the game still in full swing, the arena's lights suddenly dimmed. Fans murmured in confusion as the Jumbotron came to life, showing a heartwarming video message. On the screen, there was Jake, sitting in his wheelchair with a large sign in his lap that read, "Caitlin, you inspire me every day." The camera zoomed in on Jake's smiling face, his eyes filled with admiration and excitement. His voice echoed throughout the stadium as he spoke directly to Caitlin, "You've shown me what it means to never give up. I can't play basketball like you do, but every day, I find new strength because of you. Thank you for being my hero." The words hung in the air for a moment, and the arena went silent as Caitlin Clark, in the middle of the game, stopped in her tracks. She was visibly moved. Her eyes welled up with emotion, a rare sight for an athlete known for her fierce competitiveness. As she wiped a tear away, her teammates noticed and exchanged looks of understanding. They all knew that Caitlin was not just a basketball player, she was a role model, an inspiration to many, but none more than Jake. The crowd's applause was deafening as the video came to an end. But the real surprise was still to come. As Jake's video finished, the stadium's announcer made a special announcement. "Jake Simmons, ladies and gentlemen, is here in person tonight," erupted into cheers, and Caitlin's heart skipped a beat. She turned to her teammates, asking in disbelief, "Is this real?" With their encouragement, Caitlin made her way toward the court's edge, where Jake had been brought down to the sidelines. The moment was charged with emotion as Caitlin bent down to meet him, her face softening into a smile. For a few seconds, neither spoke. Caitlin simply embraced Jake, holding him tightly as if she could feel the weight of his admiration. There were no words to capture the depth of the moment. Caitlin, who had given so much of herself to the game, was now giving something even more precious, her heart. As she pulled away from the hug, Caitlin looked Jake in the eye, her voice filled with sincerity. "You're the real inspiration here, Jake. Your strength, your courage, it means more to me than any game I've ever played. Thank you for showing me what true perseverance looks like." Tears flowed freely from Caitlin's eyes, and Jake's grin grew wider as he looked up at his hero. In that brief moment, the athlete and the fan were not separated by fame or skill, but by an unspoken bond of mutual admiration. A heartfelt tribute. As the game resumed, the entire arena seemed to have a renewed energy. Caitlin played with even more intensity, her every move a testament to the power of Jake's words. Every three-pointer she made, every assist she recorded, felt like a tribute to the young fan whose life she had touched in a way she had never realized. The emotional connection between the two was undeniable, and the crowd felt it too. The game ended with a victorious win for Iowa, but it was the bond between Caitlin and Jake that stole the show. The footage of their emotional meeting quickly went viral, with fans across the country sharing the moment, commenting on the power of Caitlin's words and Jake's resilience. For many, it was a reminder that true sportsmanship isn't just about winning, it's about uplifting others and inspiring them to be their best selves, both on and off the court. The aftermath: changing lives beyond the court. In the days that followed, Caitlin Clark took to social media to reflect on the profound impact Jake's surprise had on her. She posted a message to her followers: "Jake, thank you for reminding me of what truly matters in this game. I played for more than just the scoreboard. I play for people like you." Caitlin's heartfelt post sparked an outpouring of support, with fans praising her humility and the grace with which she embraced Jake's gesture. The moment was widely regarded as one of the most emotional and meaningful in sports that year, reminding everyone that the power of sport lies not in the final score, but in the way it brings people together. For Jake, the meeting with Caitlin was the culmination of a dream that had started with a young boy who couldn't play the game he loved, but who had found inspiration in someone who made him believe that anything was possible. It was a moment that would stay with him for the rest of his life, and for Caitlin, it was a reminder that the real victories in life are the ones that happen off the court. As for Caitlin, that game and that surprise would stay with her forever. She had inspired many, but that night it was clear that Jake had returned the favor, teaching her the true meaning of perseverance, courage, and the impact of a single person's